Okay, I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes here, or minute, excuse me, to jump in on the live, and um, I'll just say a little bit about today. Today is going to be day 2 out of 3 for Lois Anderson's stamp party, her virtual party, and I feel like a little bit of a wreck today. Hi Lisa, thanks for joining in. Hi Shannon, I miss you. So I feel a little ragged today. I laugh at how I really paid attention kind of to what I was wearing when I did my first 10 days. Hi Alice, hi Deb, hi Kathy. Like those first 10 days in April, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear different shirts. Hi Sue, hi Lois, and make sure that I'm wearing something different. How my perspective changes when my focus needs to be a little bit more on the guys for my sideline while I'm still crafting and stamping away and preparing ideas and everything. I'm spending tons of time doing that, but interrupted several times with the main focus being on the guys starting planting today. Hi Marlis. And so yesterday after I got done with my video, I was chatting with my friend Tori and I went, you know what? I was wearing my shirt that my boys outgrew, and it's one of those comfortable shirts, like one of those thermals that I just love to be cozy. And I don't know if you guys have one of those favorite sweatshirts or shirts that you just love to put on and feel cozy. And so when I got done with my video, I went, I didn't even change my clothes. And I feel like I can be that real with you guys, which is great. So I hope that I can give you guys great ideas, and I hope that's the focus. And so I always tell my hostesses, and even though I'm not in Lois's home today as I'm bringing this party to you guys, I always tell my hostesses that I hope I provide enough entertainment and enough creativity for the party that that nobody notices like how messy your house might be, or if you dust or anything. Hopefully all eyes are on the project and what is going on. So hopefully you don't pay attention to what I'm wearing, because I'm wearing leggings today and just something that I can quick throw on shoes, and I'm sure after I'm done with my live video, it won't be long and I'll be chasing after them to one of the fields. But it's exciting, and we can be thankful here on the farm that we are essential. I think my husband would have a tough time staying home and staying in the house. So I'm glad that my family can all pitch in and have this activity to do, and that too. Hi Brian, thanks for joining in. So yeah, so with that, farming is going strong. Yesterday they got a lot done just in preparation, and today's their first day of officially putting the seeds in the ground. So it's an exciting day. Hi Laura, thanks for joining. So it looks like I am set to go according to my iPad here. So I'm going to show you the card we're going to do. So today's card for Lois's virtual stamp party, day 2 of 3, is this today. And so I wanted to focus on the honeybee bundle because for weeks now, like 6 or more weeks, this has been sold out. Hello, Tori. And because of that, I wanted to focus on products that not only were they sold out or back ordered, this bundle in particular was unavailable to order, and now it is, and we are all so excited. This bundle comes as this stamp set and coordinating dies, and like I said, you can buy just the stamp set, just the dies, or if you buy them together, you get a 10% savings. So I knew right away I fell in love with this, and it's on page 30. I don't know if you guys look at the catalogs as I craft or not, or maybe you are right in your crafting space and get out the materials and craft along with me or something. But hi Nancy. So if so, where I'm getting it from is page 30, and if you ever need a catalog, they can be found online, or you can ask me too, and I can get one to you as well. So hi Tabitha. So that's where I'm finding my creativity based on those products for the card today. And And I knew right away, back to that, I knew right away that when this bundle came out, I was like, I want that so bad. And I found out I wasn't the only one, obviously, when it sold out, but Stampin' Up! Also told us it was the #1 selling bundle. They really went hard with the poppies, with the designing that with the front cover and everything. And hi, Amy. And yet this was the #1 seller. So then I knew it wasn't so crazy or the only one that was crazy about it. I always say that when you guys tell me how crazy you are about crafting, then I feel like I'm not so all alone. Okay, so to start out with the card, I kind of wanted to go purple today. I don't know why, but then I thought I'd pull in some crushed curry. So I think I'm going to switch my camera angle so you can see me put this together. And I'll also show you my thoughts as putting the card together and what I almost came up with today. And sometimes that's good for you guys to see, because sometimes when you see my cards, when you come to Stamp Camp or I do a party, you think, oh, Belle just has this great idea and it just comes together and it always works out perfect. That's not always how it goes. So I'm going to just kind of tell you some things along the way that didn't happen, and I hope that this was the best way that the card could look today. So anyway, I'll get that started here. I'm just going to pop it down a little bit and hopefully you can see my hands here. I'm gonna get it even a little closer maybe. There we go. And so I'm gonna set the card aside and the stamp set too. And I can still see if you guys have comments or questions. I can see you on my iPad, so that's good as well. So like I said, the color combination that I wanted to use today, Highland Heather for the card base, and then bringing in some crushed curry. And hopefully I have everything out here I need. I kind of felt like, woof, like it was just one of those days where it's just kind of like flying by the seat of my pants, but not terrible because I'm really excited about the card. So to start out, I have just lots of little pieces here that I'm going to set aside. The card base is going to be the Highland Heather, and that card base 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is what this measurement is here. Hi, Joyce. And let's see. So I'm going to start with this, and this is just cut down this layer 4 by 5 1/4. So just that 1/4 inch less. That's kind of my go-to. And to get that going, I'm going to take the hardwood embossing folder, and this is one of the older 3D embossing folders. So they've come out kind of with a newer version. So if I had a card and I wanted to go with the grains going, maybe I'll show it this way so you can see the picture better. What I love about this bigger size is you can have the hardwood grains going up and down if your card was going this way, but if your card was going this way, you could still have it up and down, or vice versa, just because of the square pattern. It's going to fit your card either way. So that's the nice way of putting that, and that's why they came out with this size. So for this, I just need my Big Shot platform, and I want my, let's see, I want my grains of my wood to go this way. So I'm just going to put that in, lay that on top of there, and then I just need one regular cutting mat to go over top of this one because it is the old style and a bit thicker. So I'm just going to run that through like so. So I'm actually going to have to kind of hold that in there a little bit or up so you can kind of see the pattern there of that. And I'm going to set that aside. But because when I put it on my card front, it's purple on purple and you can see it, but I want it to pop a little bit. So I'm going to take my coordinating Highland Heather ink pad, open that up, and then with the sponge, I always say less is more, so it's easy just to tap on a little bit of ink and rub on, and I can always go back and add more for sure. So I'm just going to keep tapping. About the time I think, oh, I could tap and make it a little bit heavier and such, then I will wish I hadn't. So I'm just going to go over all the grains of the wood here like so. And then I actually pick up this layer here, this piece, tap a little extra, and then I go around the edges too. And that's just gonna warm up the edges. And then when I put it on that same color of cardstock, it's going to create even more of a dimensional look against it. Even though it is that same color, it'll be a much more dramatic look. And it's okay if you're sponging, you can maybe see there's some areas that are lighter and darker, and that's okay. With the camera here, it's hard to know if those areas might look more dramatic or less dramatic, but you can see what a difference now that makes when I put it. These used to be the same color, still the same color cardstock, but just adding that sponge really made that pop from there. So with that, I'm going to just take my snail, which I did forget. I knew I was going to forget something. Just want to make sure it's not out here. I'll be right back. And this, my friends, is how you know this is live. And yeah, hi Donna, hi Val. You're probably like, where's Belle at? I'm running to get my snail adhesive back in my office. Okay, so I'm just putting on some of the snail, like so. I'm going to tack that on for just the base layer of the card here, like so. Okay, and then I can set that aside. And then what I'm going to do next is just take a piece of scratch paper of white that I have here and open up my crushed curry. And so when I think of crushed curry, I think of one of Lois's friends that she would have invited to her party, which would be Carol. And Carol's one of my friends, and Carol loves crushed curry. So when I think of crushed curry, I think of Carol. Carol loves fall, and crushed curry is often a nice fall color because it's kind of got a nice golden yellow look, which is perfect for a golden yellow honeybee hive. So we have that. And then I know I'm going to need, hi Carol, we were just talking about you and your love for crushed curry, and now you're on. It's like you knew we were talking about you. So then I'm going to stamp out a couple of honeybees here because that's what we're going to need for the card too. The Memento black ink pad is a little bit more of a foam covered ink pad, and this stamp has some texture in it to give the wings kind of a nice detailed look there. If you can tell, there's a lot of detail in there. So I kind of press and almost twist to get that ink in there for all the detail too. So we have the couple of honeybees that we're going to need to cut out, and I'll set that aside. And then we can get out, I see a little black smudge, so I'm hoping that's not from my fingers. Okay. And so the dies that we're going to be using, and I can show it like this because I'm using my magnetic platform. So the dies are going to be the honeybee, and then this fun honeycomb pattern look, and then the bee that I just stamped out. So I will start with the beehive, and I'm going to line that up like so. And here's my bee. I can line up one of those too. If it jumps, then I might just move it. And jumping, I know some of you have talked to me, why does my die want to jump when I put it on the magnetic platform? It's just the placement of the die compared to where the magnets within the plate are. So it's nothing you are doing wrong. It's just that it doesn't like where it's at. So just give it a little bit of a different look and you'll be fine. So I'm going to pop that beehive out here and one of the other bees. And to save time, I already did the other bee. So I'm just going to set that aside as well. And then the only other thing we have to cut out then would be the honeycomb pattern, which I think adds so much. I love that they have a honeycomb die cut here. So And I have exciting news, speaking of the Big Shot. So one of the new things that they announced, which I can kind of talk about because it's not a secret, there's going to be a new Big Shot, and we kind of all knew that there was going to be a new Big Shot. But I got to see what it looks like. I can't really talk too much about it yet because of demonstrator privileges, but it's going to be really nice new, and I'm really excited about the Big Shot product line. So when I am able to share more with you, I will. And so just know that it will be something that you should be very excited about. So I'm just taking out some of these little pieces of the honeycomb. Sometimes I think it's fun to leave some of the insides of the dies when I run them through. It can be fun, but I feel like these come out so easily. It's just going to make them fall apart once I put them inside an envelope. Sometimes I save all those little pieces and put them in the inside of a card, and then it becomes confetti for the person that opens it up. So sometimes it is fun to add this to a card and just have some of that showing too. So I might have some of that showing and some of it not, but like I said, chances are if I wanted it to show, what's going to happen is these little pieces would fall out before I even get the card put together. So in putting the card together, I want my beehive popped up. So I'm going to add some dimensionals. I'm going to do 3 across the bottom, like so, and then 2 on the top to get that popped up. And I'm just going to take these little sticker pieces off and kind of set this aside for right now. And then how I'm going to put this together is kind of eyeball where I want my beehive to be. So I have my sample there for me, but when I was making it, I kind of went, okay, this is how I want things to look like. So then I take my fine tip glue pen, and this honeycomb pattern is very, very thin. So sometimes I've used it where I've just tucked it underneath the hive, and that works out fine. And so that way it kind of holds it down. And if it does have a little bit of a free flow to it, that's okay too. Sometimes when you use this, you might see that it oozes a little bit. So I just take a Kleenex or tissue here and just press it down. And I had a customer that actually told me about this. And so at first when I saw her crafting, I thought she maybe had a cold or something. This was a few years ago. So you don't worry about things like that like you do now with the corona. So what she said is if you take a Kleenex tissue and dab on that when it oozes, it not only picks up the extra that would ooze out, it gets rid of that shininess that can be around the edges sometimes too. So then that same thing, I'm just going to kind of eye where I want this to be, and I'm just going to press on those top 2 dimensionals and let it flop there. And then I'm going to put some of this down here with the fine tip glue pen, and that's all I'm going to use that for. So when I'm done with my fine tip glue pen, then I put the cap right back on, which is normally there. Not too hard for me, but when I know people are watching, then it kind of gets to be a little bit different too. So and a little bit goes a long way with that. So then I can just flop up open that beehive there, press down on that, and then with this tissue I can do that same thing, just get rid of any excess as well as that shiny plasticky look that might be there. And I'll just set that aside. And this is up a little bit, but I'm also going to add a greeting. And so the stamp set has some really nice greetings. And right now, I hope you guys are all sending cards, because it's kind of a fun time to be sending cards to people. It's always a fun time to send cards to people. But when we're not seeing them, I know I look forward to getting my mail. I need to be better at sending out cards, even though I've been sending tons and such, but I could be doing like hundreds a day and still feel like I'm not caught up with that. So this says, thinking of you, sweet friend. I'm just gonna cut off that little trim there, and trim that down just a hair. I love doing banner cuts, and so to do that, I just cut straight up the middle, and then I cut from one side to that cut, and then from the other side straight up to that cut to get the banner cut. So that's an easy way to get an even look. And I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals there on this greeting that says, "Thinking of you, sweet friend." Hopefully I got that straight. So there we go for that part of it. And then the honeybees. I have a couple of these honeybees, and before I attach that, I want to color it in. You could use regular Stampin' Write markers for that, no problem. I'm using the Stampin' Blend, and the color I chose is kind of between Daffodil and the Mango Melody. And so I just kind of scribbled that out on my paper, and the dark Mango Melody is what I'm using now because that really matched up the best with the Crushed Curry color of ink and cardstock that I'm using. So I'm just going to take my snail here for the one honeybee because I don't want it to add any more bulk to the card. But for this one, since this is already popped up, I'm just going to flip the second honeybee over and put a dimensional on that one because that one can be raised up a little bit like so. So there we have that. And so it's funny because when I was getting ready, I should have not put the backing on so you could see, but I did bring some other combinations so you could see, like if I would have matted this card on the Crushed Curry, which I thought about, it makes for a nice complementary color with everything going on, but I thought it might look too much like the Vikings. And if you know me, I love the Vikings. I love football. And hi Connie, hi Faith. And so this would be a perfect card for a Vikings fan. And I did think if I made this, I could put like, hopefully we can be winners this year or something like that to tie in the bee and the Vikings and winning and all that. So, but I just thought it was a little bit too purple and gold for the bee. So I went with purple. And then sometimes even just putting a white background can be a fresh looking look for spring. But yet I just felt like it was maybe too white for the color combination I had going on. So at the beginning of the video, I said I would kind of tell you some thoughts of what I was going to do and ended up not doing. So those were the thoughts and different options I thought about going through with that. And then Stampin' Up! Has a really nice crinkle seam binding in the Crushed Curry, and I was going to put that around, but it looked maybe just a little too thick with the fine looking honeycomb pattern too. So I took that off and went, you know what, I really like just the plain look of this. And then you see all the extra little details that are on here, which there are several, and then you're not having something else take away from that. So that's how I came up with that look. And then for the inside, I have to make sure I grab the right size white. For the inside of the card, I'm going to go back to my honeybee beehive here, and I'm just going to stamp that out in the corner like so. And then I'm going to do one more little bee kind of flying above off to the side here so that you still have plenty of writing that you can do for the inside of your card. And I'll flip that over and add some tape on to that. So that can be in the inside there. Make sure that's taped down well. So there's our finished card, and here's that. So like I said, I really had a lot of fun. It was nice to pull out this. I'm gonna switch it up here a little bit again so you can see me. Whoops, here we go. Oh. Okay, so yeah, it was fun to pull out this. I had been joking with some of you when it comes to some of these products, the beehive, the poppies, yesterday's birthday bonanza, because they have been out of stock so long and not able to be ordered. I just kind of set them aside because I joked that I didn't want to be appearing to be that older sister where I've got it but you can't have it type thing. So I thought, you know, I don't want to show you guys things that I think you would love to have but couldn't order. So now you can order it. So anyway, that makes it kind of fun. Another thing that I want to share with you too was the joy of receiving cards in the mail. Yesterday I got the mail and I went, ooh, there's a card that looks like it's hand stamped. The envelope was really pretty on the outside, and I went, ooh, the address is stamping up. And so I want to share that with you too, because I know how excited you get sometimes when I share little victories or different things with you. And so this is a card I got yesterday in the mail, and it's signed by Shelly. So if you're like, who's Shelly? Shelly is the one, let's see, Shelly is in the inside cover of all the catalogs because she started Stampin' Up! 30 years ago. And so that's pretty exciting. So a lot of times in the catalog, you see her little signature there. And I'm like, you know what? This is her definite signature right there. And she had just sent me a little encouraging note about how excited she was. We're so glad you're part of our family. And I think, wow, to think there are 52 or 57,000 demonstrators in the world. And I got a card from the person who started the whole company. And so I know when I send cards out to you, it's not that, wow, look at what, you know, what I got. But yet I hope that when you guys send out encouraging cards to people at this time, I hope that they are just as excited receiving those cards I am when I go to my mailbox and see hand stamped cards. So know that you are making a difference. Right now I'm seeing how the post office even is under a crunch during this time. And I know I've really been doing my part in helping boost their economy, one card at a time, and sending out tons. I just sent out 8 cards this morning. I hope to send out a couple hundred tomorrow with some of the stamp camp things, stamp camp cards from the April virtual stamp camp. I can't talk right now, but for the card that I made today, to get back to that too, this is one of 3. So yesterday I did the birthday bonanza, and today this one. Tomorrow I'm going to do something with the Poppy Moments or the Poppy bundle of products and such, and that's going to be day 3. So since this is, hi Shelly, it is better late than never. Thanks for joining. So if you place a $25 order towards Lois's party, and I'll post her host code, you'll get yesterday's card, today's card, and tomorrow's card if you place a $25 order or more. So it's been fun to see a couple of orders come in yesterday already for that. And even before a party, I have people that are so generous that say, you know what, I think I want to order, do you have any open host codes before I place my order? And I think that's pretty cool. Hi Brett, how's it going? And so that's one way that you can get your hands on some of these cute cards too, so that you can have some inspiration and not have to come up with all the ideas yourself. If you get some cards for me, that might make it easier to send out some cards to people, or just help you get some ideas to use yours, whether it's products you have, putting together new color combinations, or something like that too. So I'm going to sign off here, but then I'm going to take this card, upload it, and then I'm going to list all the products that I use to make the card and such. But always, if you have any questions, you can let me know. And tomorrow I'll be tuning in about the same time tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to be day 3 of Lois's virtual party. Thanks so much for joining in with us.